You go to the store and you need to buy a sweater for a party, for a work thing. You have to have that ugly Christmas sweater. You go to the store and you look through and you see, okay, does this fit the theme of the party? Does it match what is kind of expected or required? And then you have to go try it on. You might pull out the first one, try it on, and it's really huge, really big and baggy, not going to work. You might grab the next one, way too tight, can't even get it on all the way. And then it's like a pretzel problem in the in the changing room trying to get it off. And then you might find the one that just you get put it on, it fits just right, it matches the theme, it's hilarious, you're gonna get a good laugh out of it, and you found the right one. It just feels just right, and you feel peaceful, you feel accomplished, right? Our thoughts are kind of like these Christmas sweaters. We have to try them on, and we have to notice how we feel when we have that thought. And I want to start with a little bit of explanation about the difference between what I see as the difference between a thought and a belief. My name is Michelle Cox. I'm a certified life coach. I love to help people understand their brain, their nervous system, and the connection between our thoughts and our feelings. Because this is the roadmap for understanding yourself and then making better choices in how you behave and how you treat other people and how you show up in life and how you show up for yourself, how you treat yourself. Okay, because how you treat yourself is just as important as how you treat other people. And it's all connected because we're amazing human beings. Everything is connected, everything has interplay and interconnection. So when you have a thought that you end up feeling uncomfortable, you don't feel good, you feel kind of bad, or you feel kind of blah. These are just sort of general terms people might use without really naming the emotion yet, which is fine. It's getting you kind of into a category. Does this thought that I'm thinking help me to feel better, feel kind of hopeful, feel energized or motivated or hopeful and empowered to go forward and do the things that I feel like I should do or want to do? Or does it kind of pull me back and maybe hold me down or make me really hyper vigilant and anxious and unsure of myself or other people? And so in the thought world, psychologists, therapists, life coaches, we will talk about thoughts kind of in two categories. And one of those categories is limiting beliefs. And I like to, when I'm coaching kids or adults, doing a workshop, doing a program of some kind, I love to really simplify it to these two categories and give it a traffic light color. And the limiting belief I represent with a traffic light that's red. Because a red light, when we're driving, we know we're supposed to stop, right? We should do that. If it's red, stop. Or, stop and then you can turn safely if it's right turn, whatever. But when you are driving, that red light means stop. Your brain and your body, your nervous system will be guiding you in a lot of the same way. So if you have thoughts, if you carry beliefs, and I'm going to describe the difference in a minute, then you that are limiting, they kind of hold you back. They subvert your feeling of confidence and empowerment. It's like giving yourself a red light. And that red light is in your brain, and believing, oh, I shouldn't go forward. I should just stay here. I shouldn't try this thing. I shouldn't go after the goal. I shouldn't try to make amends with someone. I shouldn't speak up at work. I shouldn't try to advocate for myself at home, whatever it might be, right? So that's a limiting belief. You're holding on to a belief that just makes you feel like you need to stop, okay? And supporting belief, the other category is a supporting belief, and I give it a green light. Because that green light feeling, I like to describe to kids especially, this is a great way for them to understand how emotions and thoughts are connected and how they feel as a result, right? A supporting belief gives you that energy, gives you that hope, gives you reassurance, gives you creativity, gets your prefrontal cortex turned on, and you become a problem solver. You become creative at finding a new solution. You believe that you can. You believe you have capacity. And that's what the difference is between limiting beliefs and supporting beliefs. And throughout today's podcast, I'm going to talk about them as red lights and green lights, just to kind of simplify, but also because I think it's a really helpful metaphor. If something gives you a red light feeling, you just feel hesitant, you want to stop. If it gives you a if it gives you a green light feeling, that's when you have energy and momentum. All right, so what is the difference between a thought and a belief? So our brain is so complicated, so complex, it's just absolutely incredible. And our thinking can be, kind of surface level. It can be conscious. I'm aware of my processing. Okay, so if I need to get the kids at 3 o'clock, but I also need to get my grocery pickup, then I need to make sure, that's conscious thinking, planning out. This is using the prefrontal cortex of my brain, which is designed and matured to be able to make plans, to evaluate, to reason, to decide what's a good order of, my stops I need to make. I'm going to figure that out using my prefrontal cortex, my higher brain. Beliefs can be much more subconscious. We don't always notice those subconscious beliefs until they maybe fester up with a response in our conscious thinking. Our beliefs, I like to say, are kind of like those sedimentary rocks. You just have layer after layer after layer of thinking and thinking and thinking about something, that it becomes more and more settled and solidified to where it becomes like a core operating system. And it's more subconscious, it's more foundational, and it creates the other thoughts that come up. It influences that. So if I were to believe that I'm a failure, that I'm not a good person, that I can't succeed, if that's kind of my sedimentary rock at the base of how I believe that I am, then I'm more likely to have thoughts of, oh, there's a competition. I don't know, making this up, right? So there's a contest. I'm not going to try out because I know I'm not going to win, because I believe I'm not good enough. If I don't get an invitation to a party, oh, that means I'm not a good person. People don't like me. And so it's going to be piling on those other thoughts, and that just solidify and kind of create a foundation. And it takes away your resilience. Instead of being able to look at a situation and say, oh, well, maybe it's okay that I didn't get the first place prize, or I didn't get invited. The higher brain is able to kind of reason through it and say, well, okay, well, maybe there's some other way to proceed. I don't have to just ruminate and get stuck in the past, and then also be afraid and have anxiety about the future. So our supporting beliefs are so powerful, because then we're laying a foundation that can create thoughts that generate energy and hope and creativity and problem solving and resilience. So what I want to share today, a couple of metaphors. I have probably a few. This is kind of like the eclectic Christmas party today in this podcast, because I have a few different metaphors that I want to share, but it's all going to tie together, I promise. At least I hope so. So we have our phones, and when you think about your phone has an operating system. So one of my wonderful older sons just gave me his old phone because it was better than my old phone that a different son gave me when he got himself another phone. That's kind of how it goes when you're a mom and you have older kids and they're buying themselves phones, because now they're young adults. Then they give you their cast off phone. You're like, great, that's better than what I had before. So I got this new phone. It's an iPhone 11. Everyone's like, but it's better than my 2020 SE that I had before. And the difference, though, between these two phones is pretty fantastic. My old phone had limited data, limited storage space. It just got clogged so fast. I was always having problems. and storage, running out of storage constantly. So it's been really fun learning this new phone and how it works. And yeah, it's way better than my old phone. I didn't have to pay for it. That's pretty cool. But the phones each have a different operating system. There are apps that I cannot run on the older phone, right? Because that older phone is just so old. It can't support it. It can't run those apps. Or if I'm trying to run an app, it says download the previous version, the older one. And now with this other phone, the iPhone 11, ooh, fancy, a little bit better, that has a better operating system. I suddenly have so many apps that I was needing. I don't have to delete apps to add apps to use that and then take it off again. Anybody else be in that, have that experience and be in that situation? So, like these phones have different operating systems. Our beliefs are a different kind of operating system. I could have an operating system that's very limited, and all I can do is think about what I do wrong, how I'm not measuring up, and how I'm a failure. That's a really dangerous operating system to live with, because then all of the other apps, your relationship app, your thinking and planning ahead app, your performance at work app, all those apps are not going to run as well when the operating system is a limiting belief. However, when you have adopted an operating system for yourself that, yeah, I make mistakes, but I learn from them. I don't always get it right, but it's okay, because I'm going to try again, and do better next time. I have a supporting belief for myself that I'm fun to be around. Some people like me, some don't, and that's okay. And I'm grateful for the ones who do. And I'm going to do what I can to nurture those relationships, because my operating system is that I'm a worthy person. I'm worthwhile. I have my quirks, I have my faults, I have things that probably totally annoy people, but I have a lot of other good things about me. And some people are able to overlook my lesser qualities, right? And that helps me to be resilient as a person. It helps me to then assume the best. If someone has some feedback for me that might be painful, if I have an operating system of, okay, but I'm still a worthy person, I have skills I need to work on and get better at. That doesn't mean that I, as a person, are inherently flawed and I can't possibly get better and do better and be kinder or have a better relationship. So when I have a supporting system in place inside of me, then I'm able to navigate the uncomfortable feedback from other people and welcome it and say, I really needed that, because I want to learn how to do better, because I know I'm a worthy person and I have a need for improving skills. So there's a difference that I want you to also take away today, is to understand that there is a difference between skill set and worth. We all have skills that we need to work on. We all have skills that we are better at now than we've ever been. We all have skills that we don't even know how to do yet. and we're going to have to learn how to step into these new roles or new responsibilities that come. We don't have those skills yet. But when we operate from a supporting belief system, then we can generate that feeling of confidence and reassurance. Okay, whew, this is tough. I just kind of blew it today, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to problem solve. I'm going to see what I could do better next time. And I'm going to handle it better, or I'm going to show up better. I'm going to interact better in a way that creates a stronger relationship rather than breaking it down. So those are some of my metaphors today. The supporting belief, green light, and the limiting belief is a red light. So what do you feel when you think certain thoughts? And trying on a thought is kind of fun. We're going to do a little activity. This is what I do with children and with adults. And I think adults are just as surprised as children that how they think impacts how they feel. I just taught a class last week to adult women, and And I asked them, how do you feel when you have stress? When you're experiencing stress, how do you know that you're experiencing stress? And I heard different things like my heart races. Someone else said, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And somebody else said, I just want to hide. I want to avoid people. Um, I think everything is bad. I think that anything bad that could possibly happen is going to happen. So anxiety, right? Um, and I thought that's so interesting how we can identify we don't feel good inside. And it's because of our thinking about a situation. The situation is not making me feel that way, it's my thinking about it. So if I'm thinking that I believe in myself, am I giving myself a green light response or a red light response? I say I believe in myself, I get a green light feeling. Oh, I feel hope. I feel reassured. I feel encouraged. Like, yeah, I'm going to go do this thing. What about if let's see, let me find another one. If I pull up this thought, it's too hard. We hear this with little kids. It's too hard. I can't do it. Too hard. The thought, it's too hard. Maybe they're trying to learn how to tie their shoes, or they're trying to do some math problems. They've learned a new math function. They don't know what to do. It's too hard. Then they get that red light feeling and they want to stop. They want to quit. They feel discouraged, right? So how we feel, what about this one? How do you feel when you think this thought? I could try. Yeah, I could try that. I could see what happens. I bet I could learn. If it doesn't work out very well the first time, I think I could learn. I could learn from it, especially if I had a thought like this. I'm a good learner. I am good at learning. Look at all I have learned. When I'm with children, working with children as a life coach, then I say, well, what are you already good at? Oh, I don't know. Do you know how to tie your shoes? Yeah. Do you know how to put on pants? Put on a shirt? Do you know how to feed yourself? And they're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, yeah, you're a good learner. Put that thought in there. I'm a good learner. And now you're having trouble with math at school, but guess what? You're a good learner. Look at all these things you've already learned how to do. You can ride a bike. You can dive off a diving board, and I am scared to do that. And any other thing. Look, you've already learned how to learn. You're already a good learner. You can do it. Um, I don't know how. This can feel like a big red light. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how to handle the situation. It's too hard. That tends to go with a lot of things. And the way to flip it, and I love to show this to kids too. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to find this other one. I don't know how, but we can turn it into a green light by saying, but I can ask for help. Imagine. So do you notice that shift right away from saying, I don't know how. I don't know how to do this. No clue. I don't know how to take the first step, but I can ask for help. There's someone who knows how. And I bet that if I ask nicely, they'll be able to help me. And maybe if it's their profession, I can pay them a little bit. They're going to give me help. I cannot fix a plumbing problem at all. I always have to hire out, and that's okay. Mechanic stuff, my husband can do a lot of things, but there's some things we have to go to mechanic for, right? So learning how that feels, paying attention, and I know I'm kind of moving quickly today, but just learning how to sit with something. You realize I'm thinking, this is too hard. It's too hard. But notice how immediately the feeling changes. It's too hard, but I'll learn. Right now it's too hard. It isn't always going to be hard because I'll learn. One of my favorite personal stories to share about how I feel affecting, or how I think affecting how I feel, was when I was kind of a new life coach, and it was something that I was really nervous about. Like, are people going to accept me? Are they going to think I'm weird? Are they going to just kind of blow me off? What's going to happen? And so I had a lot of thoughts of, I had some red light thoughts for sure. Of like, I'm 40. How old was I at the time? 44 years old. I was a stay-at-home mom for 19 years. I have 6 kids over a 14-year age span. And I was going out into the world now, gonna go make my way. And I thought, I want to be a life coach. I love life coaching. It's helped me so much to change my patterns out of limiting beliefs into supporting beliefs, like total transformation in my brain. And I want to help other people. I want to do that too. But I was really nervous about it. What are people going to think? They're going to think I'm weird. Are they going to think life coaching is some woo-woo thing? And what's it going to do? I don't want to talk to you. Go away. And I was invited to a meeting, a networking meeting in my community for professionals that have, work related to mental health and things, and, substance use, uh, helping people through that. Anyways, so I was invited to this meeting and I thought, oh, I've been a life coach for 6 months. I'd done some summer camps, I did some private coaching, but I was still very new, 6 months. And I was going to this meeting and I just thought, ooh, everybody else there has probably been in their job for 20 years. And they know a lot more than me, and they probably have more degrees than I do. I have a bachelor's degree, but probably a lot of people have, master's degrees and licensings of all kinds. And I'm just not going to fit in. And I should just go home. I was really nervous. I was sitting there in the parking lot. I parked and I was like, oh, what am I doing? And I thought, oh, I just don't know. I don't know if I fit in here at all. I don't know anybody. Probably, what am I going to do? And so I just started thinking, but wait, what if I were a 10-year veteran? I'd been doing this for 10 years. I'd helped hundreds of children and parents. I'd worked with tons of adults. I've done lots of workshops and classes and summer camps, and I have all this experience, 10 years of experience. How would I feel walking into a networking meeting, an opportunity to meet other people they're equal to me in some way. We love to help people, and I have 10 years of experience. How would I feel? I thought, and it was just like this thought was lightning to me. Like, oh, I would have no problem walking into that room. If I were a 10-year veteran, I would walk right in and I'd say, hi, I'm Michelle. I'm a life coach. I work with kids and parents. I do community workshops. I love it. I would have no problem showing up and saying who I am and what I do. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's been great. I've helped thousands of people. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to walk into this meeting as if I were a 10-year veteran. So I walked in and I looked around. I was like, oh, okay, I recognize a couple people. I'm going to go sit with them. And I just observed, okay, people are handing out their business cards and flyers and pamphlets. I'm going to do the same. Hi, I'm Michelle. Here's my card. I'm a life coach. I work with children. I have this wonderful program that I do called Adventures in Wisdom. It uses stories, and I get to teach children about their brain and their nervous system and how to feel confident and have thoughts that create feelings of confidence and happiness and peace. Resolve their anxiety. It's fantastic. I love it. And so I just sat down, kind of watched how the meeting went, had some thoughts, got to share some ideas. And afterwards, I was invited to submit a proposal for a big regional conference. And so I did. And I got to speak at this conference. And I just think that how we think about ourselves, the operating system that we're giving ourselves, are going to be the apps, the thinking apps, the relationship apps, the ingenuity app, whatever, is going to be functioning either better or worse. depending on what operating system we're working with, right? So the more that we can notice the red light and question it. Don't shut it down and be angry. Like, we never want to become angry at ourselves. What we want to do is become compassionate. That's where learning happens, when we're compassionate. Our nervous system feels safer and is more resilient, and then able to shift into the thinking mode instead of fight, flight, freeze, when we are compassionate with ourselves. If I were to beat myself up for not being good enough at something or failing at something, I'm giving myself a red light. My nervous system feels threatened. And it's so much harder to look at something with a bigger perspective. We limit ourselves tremendously when we are angry with ourselves or shaming, berating ourselves. Now, if you grew up in a home where that was kind of the norm response, someone makes a mistake and everybody else has to just like piranha feed, attack, and belittle and shame and blame and all of that, it's very hard to learn how to be compassionate to yourself. But the good news is, no matter what your family of origin looks like, no matter what that operating system was like in your family, you can work through and navigate and uncover and decide how you want to be different. It takes work. It takes noticing, it takes intention, it takes using this powerful agency that you have, the ability to choose. And it starts with noticing, becoming aware of what you're doing and saying and how it's affecting you, and noticing how that ripple effect impacts other people. We can't create feelings in other people, but we can have a lot of influence over how they feel by the words that we're using and giving to them. So if I'm shaming, blaming, yelling, criticizing my child, he or she is so much more likely to, well, first of all, I'm the one who should be the the example of reality for them and who they are and their identity. So if my response to them is harsh, then they will definitely be more likely to adopt that belief that it's not just a skill problem, this is a person problem. We need to be so careful with our children and the way we talk to them. We want to help them to adopt that feeling of, okay, I have skills to learn. I'm still a good person. I'm still a good and worthy and valuable person, and I'm able to learn. I'm able to develop skills. That's what I'm working on. I'm still intact, that I'm a good person. So, okay, so much I wanted to share today. I want to do a very quick run through of the thought cycle diagram because this is so interesting. And I want to show you, and because today is December 2nd, 2025, and we're in holiday season, I wanted to have a fictional example of kind of a holiday type stressor. And one of those stressors could be, and actually, let me grab my other marker. Here it is. Because I wanted to color code today just to make it fun. But let's say you didn't get invited to a Christmas party. And for some children, for some adults, this can be a very painful experience to be left out and to feel alone and to be maybe more isolated. But I want to show you that the way that we think about things really is in our power and in our control to change and to shift and adjust. Okay, so I'm going to put in the cloud up here. This is where we put the event, the circumstance. Let's see if we can see a little bit better. And or a direct quote, someone said. So and when we create a circumstance, we're writing down our circumstance. We want to be very careful that we don't put our thoughts into there and create a non-neutral circumstance, because circumstances are neutral. They mean nothing until we start to think about it and our nervous system reacts. Either this is something dangerous or this is something safe. Those two categories, right? The red light and the green light. So I would just say no party invitations. Invitations. Okay. All right. And maybe I'm aware of some other people having parties and I'm not getting any invitations. Okay. And I might think with my red light thought, it must be that I've done something wrong. Maybe I did something wrong. And maybe I'm not fun to be around. Okay, I must have done something wrong. I'm no fun. That's why they didn't invite me. Okay, I have that thought. I make it's very much an assumption, right? We don't know why we didn't get the invitation. And when we're in a red light state, this is our sympathetic nervous system. We go into fight, flight, freeze, right? When something feels threatening to us. So not getting invited, we think, oh, I must have done something wrong. I'm not fun. I'm not fun to be around. That's why they didn't invite me. So now we're going to be triggered into fight, flight, or freeze. And everybody's different. We're going to and it's just a biological switch. You haven't done anything wrong. This is just your brain trying to protect you, right? And so you might be, let's say that having those thoughts puts you in flight mode, where then you feel like I should avoid people. They don't want me around. I should just hide. So flight, I'm going to put flight right here. Flight mode, okay? And if I'm thinking, I must have done something wrong, I'm not fun, whew, how am I going to feel? How am I going to feel in my body? How's that going to feel? Oh, and I feel like I should hide, I should avoid people. Yeah, I'm experiencing avoidance. I'm experiencing maybe some shame. There's something wrong with me as a person because I wasn't invited. And maybe I'm feeling discouraged. I don't know how to make friends. If they're not inviting me, I must not know how to make friends. Well, when I have this thought, these thoughts, and these emotions inside of me, how am I likely going to show up and how am I likely to behave in that case? So then, yeah, I might avoid my friends or family. And I will be less fun. I will be less fun. Look how I make things happen. So I'm going to avoid people and I'm going to be less fun. And kind of make this come true in a way, right? And I have no idea why I wasn't invited. Maybe they could only invite 5 people. There was just limited space. Or they didn't think I would be available. I just didn't come to mind. They thought of other people first. Or maybe they just really struggled with, oh, should I invite her or not? But I don't have enough spaces at the table. And oh, I'll just catch her some other time. Or maybe, I don't know. So when we are in this state, we can't think of other possibilities. We can't think of anything else, any other solutions. And it's going to cycle through. I'm going to be less fun because I'm avoiding people, because I feel ashamed of myself, because I think I wasn't invited because I'm not fun. Look how I just made it true. And then it's going to cycle through, and people will be even less likely to invite me the next time because I'm not fun. I'm holding back. I'm hiding. Whew, it doesn't feel very good, does it? Now, the number one thing to do to help yourself shift from the sympathetic nervous system where you're in fight, flight, freeze, and you're tense, your breathing is changing, your heart rate, Your muscles are tight. And like my friend was saying last week at this women's class that I did, she feels like throwing up. Yes, because that vagus nerve, part of the nervous system, runs down your neck, down both sides, and branches out to all of your organs in your torso, your trunk section, including your gastrointestinal tract. So you have a thought, I'm no fun, people don't like me. That signal goes into your body and it affects your digestion. It affects your heart rate. It affects all the different systems of your body. It doesn't feel good. There's cortisol probably racing through your body. That stress hormone, it feels terrible. And you're more likely to then think, what's going to happen next time? Next time I'm going to be ignored also. And so then you hang back and you get ignored because you're not showing up, right? Okay, so now let's change this. Let's help our friend, our fictional friend who didn't get any Christmas party invitations. Because this is the most wonderful news of all. Your circumstance doesn't need to change before you feel better. I'm going to show you how. It's like magic. And I'm actually excited because I wrote a workbook to help you do this on your own. It's amazing. I'm so excited. It's going to be on Amazon very, very soon. I'm on draft number 27 probably. So close to being done. But in this book, you will learn how to go through this whole process using the thought cycle diagram on your own, with your own scenarios, your own challenges, learning how to regulate yourself and be the boss of you and your experience. So I'm going to use my green marker. Look, this doesn't change. No party invitations. What could I think instead? What could I feel or do instead? Let me turn this a little bit more. Boy, I don't have any party invitations. How would I rather behave? How would I rather feel? What result would I rather have? Well, I really do want to have fun at Christmas time. I really do want to maybe have some get-togethers or some parties or something. That's important to me. I enjoy it. I love people. I want to be around people. I think that's fun. So if that's the result that I want, the result is I want to have fun. I want to have fun with friends or family. Okay, so if that's the result, get together with friends or family. Okay, that's my result. I want to have that result. So what am I going to do differently to make that happen? So obviously, if I want that to be my result, then that needs to be my action too, right? But what if I didn't wait for invitations? And I'm sorry there's a glare on here. I'm trying to make it better. Let's see, let me turn it that way again. So if I want to have get-togethers with friends and family, then my action is to plan something. Plan something. What could it be? And invite friends and family to it. Why am I waiting? Why do I feel like I have to wait? So if I have this limiting belief of I have to be invited to things, and then I can have fun. I have to be invited to it. Or I could have a green light belief. I can do the inviting. I can throw the party. I can take responsibility. I can take ownership of my life. I can create the fun. I can be the fun. All right. So I'm going to plan something. I'm going to invite friends or family. Maybe one group, I'll say, let's go drive around and look at Christmas lights on houses. Another group, I might say, hey, come over. We're going to decorate cookies and listen to music and watch Hallmark movies. Someone else, you might say, hey, there's a Christmas concert. I want to go to this. What do you think? Do you want to come? And then we'll go get hot chocolate afterwards. Look, you could pack your calendar if you wanted to. You don't have to wait. You can create it. You can create your life how you want it to be. Okay, so if that's going to be my action, I'm going to plan something, invite friends because I want this result of having fun with my friends and family. How do I need to feel? How do I need to feel inside? What kind of feeling, emotion needs to be driving me and fueling my operating system? Let's think about that. I want to feel excited. I want to feel hopeful that they want to do these fun things too and that they want to do them with me. And if they're busy, they can't do it, I'll ask somebody else or say, what would be a good time for you? Let's figure it out. Okay, because you can tell when you think, let's figure it out, let's find a solution, your thinking brain is online, not your survival brain. Survival brain, flight mode. Just avoid and hide and be not and don't be fun. Be less fun. So I'm going to feel hopeful. I think, oh, I'm going to pack my holiday calendar myself. I don't have to wait. And I'm going to be excited. Good. And I think also in the action line, I'm going to be looking for opportunities. I'm going to be scouring the Facebook events. I'm going to be looking in the newspaper. I'm going to get online and look in my city's calendar of events. I'm going to be very proactive, right? When I have an operating system that is supporting me and encouraging me, giving me green lights. Okay, so what would the thought be? I don't have any party invitations, but this is my result. I'm going to create. This is the way I'm going to behave. This is how I feel hopeful and excited. What thought could I possibly have that would create hope and create excitement in my body? I can plan my own fun. I can plan my own fun. I can curate my life. I can curate my own holiday experience. I don't have to wait for other people to invite me. I can be the one, right? I can curate my own holiday experience. Yeah, I can, and I'm so excited to. I'm so excited to do all these fun things that I've been noticing on Facebook and that I've looked on the website of my city and I've seen in the calendar. I'm going to have all the fun I want. That circumstance didn't change one bit. In fact, it probably will change when I am the fun person, inviting people, bringing them to stuff, like nurturing friendship. I probably would get invited more. I'm being fun. I'm creating what I want and what I was hoping for. My friends, this is the power of your thoughts. You can give yourself a green light this Christmas season. There are lots of ways that we might find holidays frustrating and stressful, and there's a lot of family dynamics and interactions and maybe traditions or lots of different things. But remember, every single one of them can go in the cloud, neutral. It's all about how you think about it that's going to guide how you feel and how you behave. So give yourself green lights. Give yourself permission to notice what you're already doing good. Notice what you could do better, how the skills you need to develop. All right, maybe you do need to be better at keeping up with friends and neighbors or keeping up with family members and responding to them and nurturing those relationships. Maybe you do need to improve on that. That's okay, because you've been learning that you're good at it. You're good at learning, right? I will learn. I didn't do very well last year, but I can do better this year. I can look for ways to reach out to my neighbors and be a better support and be more fun. I could carol. I could take cookies. The thing is, when you are operating with green lights, with a supporting belief that you are a good person, that you have something positive to contribute to the world. You're putting on these beliefs that feel good. They fit just right, that feels right, because we are all good people deep inside. So when our supporting belief is in alignment with that, I'm a good person. Yes, I have a lot of flaws, make a lot of mistakes, but I'm a good person. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be kind. That's going to feel so much better than the self shame and beratement. That's just never going to feel good. So, love yourself this Christmas, this holiday season. See how you can create a beautiful experience for yourself and others. Bring the magic into it. The magic can start right here in the way you think and the way you feel as a result. It's in your hands. You have these tools, the building blocks are inside of you to create your experience and change it. So there you go. And if you want any more information, visit me on Facebook, Michelle Cox Mindset Coach, or visit me on my website, michellecoxmindset.com. And keep watching very soon, like by Christmas, I hope. This will be my Christmas present to myself, to be done with my workbook. But it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of bright graphics and fun diagrams, and it just walks you through this whole process of understanding your nervous system and understanding how you can change how you feel by changing how you think and believe about yourself. All right. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful holiday season and join me again next week on Let's Talk.